What the fuck was that?
Why you so upset, man?
I just witnessed one of the dumbest superhero deaths in fucking TV history, bro. Come on!
I need to hear your reaction.
All right, listen.
You're getting a bit off topic here, sir. All right.
Because that's rule number one.
I'm not really keeping track of the Falcons. Did y'all win?
No, they lost. They mounted a decent comeback, but brother, as you know, I'm currently under the weather. Been under the weather since Friday. I did not watch that game.
Man, you've been under the weather all month, man. Jeez, it's either a headache, another headache, or something new, which you won't divulge to the populace yet. I know you're in a bunker. You just can't tell nobody. But
COVID pox. It's not.
Ebola pox? Ebola vid?
My son brought an illness home and got me sick, brother. So, but I'm gonna power through. But with that being said, I did not watch the Falcon game because I have a policy. I'm sick. I'm not gonna let that team ruin my day. All right. So I did not watch the game.
Who did y'all play?
They played the Rams.
Oh, yeah. Rams. Rams were looking to come back strong.
Come back, I'll give it to them, but they lost. So they had to flip the 28-3 narrative, and then they lost anyway. So they were down 28-3, and they came back within 4 points and lost.
Jeez.
Yeah, I told you I have for 3 years now. I've had this policy with this team. I don't let them ruin Sunday for me. I just don't allow it no more. So sometimes I watch, sometimes I don't. When I know I'm in for tomfoolery, I'm not watching it. All right.
Hey, listen, man. I know exactly what you're talking about. Because when the Broncos got blown out of that Super Bowl by the Seahawks, 40,000, the whatever. Man, I didn't talk football for a whole year. I didn't say nothing to nobody. I didn't say anything about the Broncos beating whoever. I just got lucky that 2 years later, they got a Super Bowl, and I could forget about all that stuff that happened 2 years ago. It all worked out. So, I feel you. But
so, I have a funny story about that game. I watched that game, and it was such a blowout that I got drunk by halftime. I didn't see the second half because I decided to knock down 240s. Yeah, bro. Jeez. I was done. Oh. I had two 211 Steel Reserve high gravity malt liquors. I was cooked, my friend. But that game was such a joke that was like, who cares?
Yeah, listen. I didn't watch the second half either, and I'm a Broncos fan. Because at the second half, I'm pretty sure they ran the kickoff back for a touchdown. And I gave up at that point.
It was tough, dude. That was one of the most depressing Super Bowls because you got this legendary quarterback, Peyton Manning, and we like our legendary quarterbacks. And brother, that game was over before it started. It was like, God damn, dude, they ran him out.
Yeah, first play was a safety. First play was a safety. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
And to be honest, and rest in peace, Demaryius Thomas. He never played right again after that game because Manning threw the ball to that dude a record number of times in the Super Bowl. I think it was like 18 or something like that, and he got
Cam Chancellor was wrecking him every time he got
time. And I'm like, man, what is wrong with this dude? Like in the years going on, like this dude just ain't the same. And I remember he kept getting mollywopped every time he caught the ball because Peyton Manning will get them receivers hurt.
Peyton Manning is single-handedly responsible for Wes Welker, okay?
Wes Welker
got murdered playing for Peyton Manning.
Yeah, Wes Welker, Austin Collie, some Gonzalez dude. Like, that slot receiver for the Colts, man, it's like, listen, you're not going to have a long shelf life. You better get your life in order. It just was it going to work?
Yeah.
But NFL Week 2, Broncos finally won. It was a terrible game. I'm still giving it 4 games for the offense to get clicking. They play the 49ers next. They're kind of playing at the same level right now, which isn't good. 49ers got a good defense. And the quarterback was Garoppolo now. I wish Trey Lance was still back there, but it's Garoppolo now. And they might be getting Kittle back. Broncos defense is looking fantastic, even though we played Seahawks and Houston, but still.
Yep.
I don't know, man. That second game was weird against Houston. No fumbles at the goal line, though.
I worry for your coach, man. He seems to be a guy who loves the offense. The thing about the offensive coordinators typically they go like this. They're offensive coordinators because they love scheming up plays. They love finding ways to get guys open. They love the chalk. They love the X's and O's. But once you get the head coach job, it's a lot bigger. And a lot of coordinators in general, offense and defense, I don't think they understand that aspect, right? Like you're not an offense coordinator anymore. You have to manage the game and his clock management so far. God damn. Nate Hackett. Nate, I need you to get together.
Yeah, I should have known when the last name is a gimmick, I should have known something was up. Because now it's Nathaniel Hackett can't hack it. I'm like, oh man, how did I not see that coming?
And, he's got Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson, he's a good soldier until he ain't. Then he started getting those leaks, and then you start hearing, some rumors, Sierra, like Denver, and you start hearing stuff like that. And he ain't going nowhere. Of course, he just got there. But Russell Wilson will not suffer in doubt for long. We'll start hearing stuff. Start hearing rumblings.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna give 4 games. First game, clock management was wild. Second game, I don't really, to be honest, that game was so boring. I don't really remember much. I just know that the Broncos won. Russ didn't play great. Everybody got hurt. Jerry Jeudy got hurt. Justin Simmons is out. KJ Hamler is out. Tim Patrick's out for the year. We're down to Cortland Sutton and practice squad people. He doesn't like to throw to the tight end for whatever reason, but we got a good running game. So I just hoping they figure it out eventually. But 49ers will be a good test. But besides the Falcons and Broncos, it's some interesting comebacks week 2. Miami came back against the Ravens.
I thought that game was over, dude. I thought that game was a wrap. I was like,
did I?
Man, they might have a furious comeback.
Yeah, I didn't watch the game, so I don't know what Baltimore was doing. Because at one point it was like 35-7, wasn't it? And then
it was they were down bad, yeah.
And they came back through 6 touchdowns. Listen, I'm glad he did well. But I've also seen Mitchell Trubisky throw 6 touchdowns in a game, so I'm not getting too excited.
I have to. Yep.
I hope he succeeds. As just because look, I hope everybody in the NFL succeeds, unless you're a piece of crap. And I don't know enough about him.
So you're not rooting for the Browns.
Like Deshaun Watson, I don't hope he succeeds. I hope when he comes back, everything goes wrong for him. But that won't happen till week 12 or whatever. Who else came back? The Jets. For one, the Jets won a game. Wasn't expecting that at all. They came back against the Browns. And I know you're against the whole Nick Chubb running into the end zone and getting them extra points instead of just going down and running the clock out like he's done before. I don't know what made him change his mind this time.
I mean, it's not that I don't get the strategy, but look, it's 2 minutes left. In my opinion, I know you could probably kneel, but just like you say, anything can happen. They came back, they lost the game. Anything can happen if you choose to fucking run clock in that moment. Fumbles happen and stuff like that. Hey, listen, if your football team can't manage a 14-point lead with 2 minutes to go, you aren't very good anyway. So you got bigger problems. I think the guy should be allowed to score there. To me, that didn't seem like an obvious, hey, if you get the ball, you need to kneel. I didn't see it. It wasn't, to me, I didn't see it like the Gurley situation. I didn't. That's me though. I didn't see it that way. Going up 14 points 2 minutes ago, sign me up for that every time.
Yeah.
If your team can't manage it, your team sucks. So I
I
look good
hey,
on him for falling on the sword, but I don't know.
I get you saying, but I gotta disagree. The best way to win the game is to not give the other team a chance.
I mean, the clock is your friend and your
I
enemy, depending on what side you're on.
seen it plenty of times. You know, it doesn't it probably happens like once every season, once or twice every season.
Yeah.
But and listen, it's the Jets and it's Joe Flacco. You don't expect them to have a comeback,
Man,
but
you don't. It's against the Jets. Like, I come on, you can't hold 14 points
but
against
when you
that
have a
offense. I
chance
mean,
to get another first down before the end zone, you Chubb has done this before. That's where it was weird.
yeah. I mean,
But
I know, I get it, man. I'm just, running backs, they run, all right, and
yeah,
he took off, and he had a head full of steam, and Nutmeg Green in front of him. I mean, and he just kind of scored. I mean, in that moment, was anybody thinking he made a mistake? I don't think nobody talked that way. It was like, oh, well, 14-point lead, here we go. All right, it's just, I mean, I don't know, man. It's the Jets. You got to be able to hold that team for 2 minutes and 2 scores, and then the kicker misses the extra point and the whole thing. And yeah, I mean, listen, the best strategy is always hold the ball when the game's over. I totally understand that. But just as a defense, I mean, goddamn, dog.
yeah,
The fact that Nick Chubb had to lay on the sword for you guys, I fully put it away. I can hear where you're coming from, but I still want to hear a Browns player stick up and go, yeah, we should probably also hold them with 2 minutes to go. All right. Look, if he can lay on the sword and be responsible, that's fine. But I
right.
want to hear somebody on that damn defense go, hey, man, we also let him down because he had a fantastic effort all day. And we couldn't hold the stinking Jets to a 14-point lead. It's
Right.
gross.
Right. But then
Fucking
again,
gross.
it's also the Browns. Like
It's the Browns.
let's not act like the Browns have been good a long time. This is all new territory for them.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I'm just saying, like I think the more experienced coaches would have been like, hey, just don't score. Like
Well, the funny part about
if the
hey, the
Titans
funny
coach
part,
was in
hey,
that
you mentioned
situation,
experience. I'm sorry to
what?
interrupt you, brother. I'm sorry.
Nah,
I said
you
the funny
good.
part about experience is that their head coach, the Browns head coach, brought his kids on the field because he thought it was a rap too. All right. So yeah,
Yeah, like
everybody was
yeah.
nobody was buttoned up exactly. Nobody was. It looks like in that moment everybody lost focus, and
Yeah.
that's how you lose a football game.
Yeah, they got too excited. And yeah, just like you said, that's how you lose a football game. I'm just saying, like, the older coaches, Tomlin, Belichick, they be like, hey, we're just
Yeah.
here to win. Chill out. But like if the Titans coach was there, he would be like, man, run that ball in and score. So it's not like I'm trying to pile up on. I'm just saying, yes, that defense, they should have been able to stop the Jets. But you gotta, just try not to put yourself in that situation. I understand. Hey, we can do all this stuff. We should be able to stop them and all that, but it don't always work like that. I seen it in Super Bowl with the Broncos and the Packers. It didn't work out for the Packers. The Packers let the Broncos score so they can get the ball back, and with more time, and
Yeah.
ended up not working out. But it's
Yeah.
just a tactic that I've seen before, and I guess since I've seen it in the Super Bowl, I'm like, oh man, it seems obvious to me, but of course, I'm not on the field and
The,
I'm not on the
the
sideline.
Lions let Gurley score to get the ball back. It came back and won the game. So yeah, yeah.
Right.
But that was also after explicitly he was told, "Hey, don't score.
Right.
Get the ball, go down." He got the ball with a head full of steam, and then your natural instincts take over, man. It's like, I'm a running back. I'm running. Oh, I scored. Shit.
Right. Right. Yeah, like we say that, but then I go back, like Chubb's been in this situation before. To me, it's like he should know better. And of course, I'm saying this after the fact because I didn't watch the game. I didn't know how they came back. But looking at the highlights, it's a thought that came up, and then I hear everyone knows what should have happened after the game is over.
Yeah, yeah. It's very easy to Monday morning quarterback. It
Right. Yeah.
really
And
is.
and that's all it is. Like I'm not on the field or anything like that. But it was another comeback. Was it Cardinals came back?
Yeah, man. That's another wild one. Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know if it's Josh McDaniels or what, but the Raiders, something don't seem right. Um, I don't know what it is. Like they got the talent. I don't know if it's Carr or maybe McDaniels just isn't up to snuff, but something don't seem right about the Raiders, and I'm fine with that because there's too much going on in the AFC
Yeah, the
West.
AFC West is treacherous, and that team can still beat you. That team's still good. It's just yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I was surprised. Hey, I guess that's why they paid him, Kyler Murray. But cause that dude be scrap man, I know they say he's only like 5'9" or
Yeah, he's short.
5'10".
He's
He
five
got
six.
he's gotta be Tom Cruise gotta be taller than that guy. There's
Yeah, he's
no
5'6".
way.
Stop
Yeah.
lying to me. He's not fucking 5'9". All right, stop lying.
I've seen toddlers with the same running style as that guy. Like
Yes,
the hands and the legs, it don't swing far enough. It
and
like cause
watching
it
him
can't go.
play. You ever play big head mode on Madden?
Yes,
Yeah, that's what it
he
is.
is big
Yeah,
head mode. That is all it.
yeah.
It is wild watching that dude run. But hey, that's why they pay him all that money. And but the new Call of Duty is supposed to be coming out soon, and fans are getting worried because apparently that's his kryptonite. Um,
Call of Duty.
yeah, I don't get down with Call of
That's
Duty
why they
like
put that
that no
clause
more.
on his contract. Like, hey man, listen, when that shit drops, I better not see you online playing that shit. All right.
And then it leaks, and then look, him and his agent play that all very well. Like, man, you signed this. What do you mean you don't want it in there? Like, oh well, hey, listen to the fans, and then they
It's
take that was
embarrassing
a
to
weird
me. Well,
situation,
why'd you sign it?
right? Hey, man, they playing all that with the deleting his deleting the Cardinals from his social media and all that. That's just tactics that these young whippersnappers. Listen, I'm old. I don't understand none of it. I don't understand the significance of social media like that, but apparently it's enough to get your contract changed after you
After you agree
signed
to
it.
it.
So
Yeah.
maybe I need to start looking into that. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good week too. I think the first 2 weeks have like the games are starting off pretty boring, or at least defense heavy, and it's like Roger Goodell calls everyone at halftime like, "Hey, y'all need to up the offense. This stuff is boring." Because
Listen, the ratings, guys.
the scoring goes out the window in the second half for like every game is ridiculous. But are there any stories from week 2 that you find interesting besides
Any
the
stories
comebacks and
from week
stuff?
two? I found the Jalen Hurts game, the Eagles. I
Ah,
found that to be interesting.
yeah,
Didn't know he had that game in him. In that spot, in that big spot. And of course, Kirk Cousins shrinks again in a big spot. I mean, that's been the
weird.
fucking story of his fucking career. I
It's,
mean,
that is so weird.
yeah, he's just big game comes up, he's shrinking. Here it happens. Here it comes.
Yeah, it's kind of like Shaq at the free throw line. Like, yeah, in practice he can do it, but then it's like, oh, everyone's looking at me. It's it's so weird how completely different he is. Because if you look at his stats, he's stat wise, he's a well above average quarterback. But then like you watch him play and it's like I just don't see it. And it's weird.
Yeah, I
It,
think some of the advanced stat guys, it's like his he doesn't make enough winning plays. That's the thing. He doesn't make enough plays. Like he'll make the throws he's supposed to make, but then there comes a time when you got to go out there and win a game with a big time throw. That seems to be what like he's just not capable of reaching that level. He's not quite ready. He's not quite talented enough to hit that spot, or at least he won't allow himself, you know, the opportunity to be that guy in those moments. Except that time in the playoffs against the Saints, and that was wildly entertaining for me personally.
right. Yeah, listen, for certain reasons, I'm fine with the Saints losing. Not gonna speak anymore on that, but I don't know. It gives me a little bit of joy every time they lose. I don't know why. And
I know why for me because
I don't know what you're talking about. But
stinky swamp people.
Kirk, what are we talking about? Kirk Cousins, Yeah, Jalen Hurts. That was the Eagles. Like, I'm surprised at how well they're doing. I'm glad. I'm always down for a shakeup and whatever. Uh, it's not just the Eagles. Like the Eagles are doing well. Carson Wentz is looking pretty good.
Yeah, and I didn't have that on my bingo card.
Yeah.
I thought he was cooked.
And to be honest, like he didn't play terrible for the Colts.
He didn't.
It was his first season with it's Frank Wright. He should know his system, but still, man, look at the receiving core. Like I don't even know who those people are. They got a good offensive line, Jonathan Taylor, and a pretty good defense. And like I don't know who any of these people throwing to. Because Matt Ryan, I'm pretty sure he's regretting going. Well, he's getting paid a lot, but besides
He getting
that,
paid a lot.
like I don't. The weapons just ain't there, and he has weapons in Washington, and he's playing pretty well. And so, and then who the Cowboys play? They beat somebody.
Oh,
Cincinnati.
That's a bit of a story. The
That's
potential regression from Cincy.
yeah, it's starting to. I know it was only 2 games in, but it's starting to look like that Super Bowl appearance might have been a fluke. Like I said, it's only 2 games in, but we seen flukes happening before. Because man, that offensive line is getting that kid killed.
Yeah, man.
And I say kid because he looks like a young Macaulay Culkin.
Looks like Macaulay Culkin. Yep.
Yeah, and supposedly it's an improved offensive line. I'm not seeing it, but
they invested. It's not for lack of trying, which is something I'll say because a lot of times, teams they don't invest properly. It's not because they didn't try. They did. Yeah. They brought in Lyle Collins, supposed to be a pretty good tackle. Man, it just ain't working. Like, it's 2 games though, right? You got time to get better. You got time to, get your cohesion together.
Right.
One thing about offensive line play, those guys do have to play together enough to really help them develop chemistry. So,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, less better quarterbacks in AFC I'm fine with. But I mean, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see him go out like Andrew Luck, where he's just like, man, being back here just ain't worth it no more. And he just walks away at some point. I mean, he's not going to walk away anytime soon. He's going to at least get that big contract first. But
yeah,
the way that they can't protect it, I don't want to say David Carr, but he's getting hit like David Carr. And I think he's been sacked like 14 times already in 2 games or something like that.
Yeah, but he also hosts ball too long, right, which is a really bad habit of his. So that also contributes to a lot of it.
Right.
One thing you see when you see Tom Brady play, he gets rid of that fucking ball, man, and he's not playing that well this year. But he's not gonna take unnecessary shots.
Yeah, I think. Well, he also doesn't have any weapons, especially now that Mike Evans is suspended a game. Yeah. Godwin and Gronk is gone. Edelman never came over. What's Godwin's? I think he's still hurt. Mike Evans is out now.
I believe one missing Quintorris Lopez Jones is hurt again. I called it.
Who?
Because Julio, his name is Quintorris.
I was like, who? Right.
Quintorris Lopez Jones.
Right, that's right. Yeah. He listen. Yeah, he's hurt again. I mean, that's been his thing for the last few seasons.
Yeah.
I didn't expect him to last long. Hey, AB's available.
Oh God.
AB's available, man. Odell Beckham, I don't know if he's healthy yet, but I'm interested to see where Odell ends up because there's plenty of teams that could use him. He seems like he would make a good fit just about, I don't want to say just about anywhere, but actually, yeah, I would say at this point in his career, just about everywhere. Anywhere, especially.
I am interested to see how he looks coming off that knee injury, though.
Yeah. But I think Tom Brady can get just about anyone to go along at least for a season. And I do think this is Tom's last season because
yeah.
He actually looks old and he's talking old and he's I'm pretty sure he realizes, man, I should have stayed retired. Why am I
just look, the wife's at home kicking his ass.
Yeah.
Fucking players on the field kicking his ass and getting the fights. Hey man, you're old. Sometimes you gotta sit it down, You gotta sit it down.
Yeah, I think this is last season. And I think he'll get it going, especially once the weapons come back. But I mean, he did finally beat the Saints, so who
He
knows?
did in the regular season. Yeah.
Yeah, so who knows? But besides that, the Bills look unstoppable.
Yeah, man. You see, I changed my group chat name, man. I mean, look, I've been on the Josh Allen hype train, man, since last year. Okay, he's a fun dude to watch. He's a fun dude to watch. I want him to stop playing so much man ball. I would like for him to start getting out of bounds. I don't care how big you are, big fella. Hey, hits hurt on anybody. All right, they pile up.
Yeah,
But he's so much fun, and
yeah,
his arm is so crazy.
yeah. I mean, they clearly look like the team to beat. I say that, but Kansas City is always going to be there.
Yep.
But Bills just look like they're on a mission, especially the way they got a rule change in playoff overtime because of how it ended for them last season. Um, they felt like they deserved a shot to get the ball and score, but that wasn't the rules last year. But the rules changed, I'm pretty sure, this season, at least for playoff football overtime, that even if the team that gets the ball first scores a touchdown, the other team still gets a chance to tie it up or whatever. So I just think they're extremely motivated. And Von Miller looks young again. I wish he would have came back to the Broncos, but whatever.
Man, the age is Von Miller. Fuck, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, he got a lot of help on the defense. He doesn't have to do too much.
And
But
that defensive line. I saw a stat today where they're getting, I think they're winning. I think what's pass rush win rate? Their pass rush win rate is like 46%. And that's nuts. But the crazy part is 46% pass rusher win rate. They've only blitzed 3 times all year. So they're
right,
doing that with 4 down linemen. That's fucking insane. And listen, you're gonna win 95% of your games if you're gonna do that. It's gonna take some real Mahomesian shit to beat you
right,
if you're gonna do that.
yeah. And I don't know who they're playing next, but I want to see the Bills go up against Mahomes again, of course, either regular
Yep.
season or playoff. Um, and I mean that's really about it. Like the Ravens are interesting, Lamar and all that, but man, I just don't know what it is with the Ravens. I don't know if I'm just bored of the same stuff or what, but I don't know. The Bills just look unstoppable at this point.
They look
Um,
pretty good.
but it's only week 2, and the Broncos will get going eventually, and then all bets are off. We get that 4th Super Bowl ring, and then Russ can cook and ride and do everything he want, get high because it's legal there.
Hey, listen, that last let Russ cook meme I saw when he put hot dogs in that cereal, I
What?
died, dog. I
What?
died. They had the let Russ cook meme, and they showed next to him was a bowl of cereal with 2 hot dogs in it. God
Oh,
damn, dude.
that's
Ah,
nasty.
hey, look, because right now that's what he's cooking. All right.
Hey, come on,
Hey,
man.
listen.
It's a new system.
It is. Hey, look, I'm gonna give him some grace, but damn, that was funny.
Oh
My God.
man. Yeah, he's yeah, man. Nathaniel Hackett need to get it together.
Oh boy.
Because there's too much talent, even though there's a lot hurt right now over there for them to. I thought the defense was going to take a hit this season, not the offense. But it's only week 2. No need for me to overreact.
No, no. Even though that's hard not to do, it's hard not to overreact because it's so fun to sometimes. But
Yeah,
sometimes you gotta let stuff play out, man. Especially new quarterbacks, new skill, new schemes, new systems, dude. You gotta let stuff play out.
right. Speaking of overreact, I'm going to go ahead and make the call now. Oh wait, never mind. Never mind. I can't. I was going to say so for week 1, my overreaction was Jimmy G was going to get traded to the Raiders at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
But That's not going to happen because Trey
Why do you have him
Lance,
going to the Raiders? You think Derek Carr's job's on the line? I don't feel that way.
Josh McDaniels does not like Derek Carr.
Really? Oh, I didn't
Uh,
know that.
I mean, it's just I was there when Josh McDaniels clearly didn't like Jay Cutler, and it seems like he's forcing himself to talk good about Derek Carr, mainly
Yep.
because he's the main reason Devontae Adams is there, and Derek Carr is a capable quarterback. It's just I don't know. It just seems like to me he's not a big fan of Derek Carr. I mean, look, I know John Gruden.
But you're a fan of Jimmy Garoppolo?
I mean, he had Jimmy Garoppolo in New England, and
He
he was
did.
supposed to be the new thing. I just he seems like the guy who just wants his guy in there, and that would have been Jimmy G. But like I said, it was an overreaction. It's not something I actually thought would happen, but I could see in the most extreme circumstances if their car were to got hurt or something like that. I think Josh McDaniels would have been the first one on the phone to call up for Jimmy G. But it's not going to happen. Jimmy G is going to take the 49ers to the Super Bowl again or something like that. All right, that's what I'm predicting. Jimmy G is going to take the 49ers to the Super Bowl. And they're going to beat Russell Wilson and the Broncos. And
Ooh,
what
that's
and Kyle
oh.
Shanahan and John Lynch gonna have a dilemma of hold on, Jimmy G won a Super Bowl. It's Trey Lance guy. I don't think it's gonna cut it.
The Trey Lance guy that we traded the world for.
Right.
We're screwed.
And you can't get rid of him now. He got hurt in the line of duty. Can it'll be a
Well,
sob story like
listen,
Bridgewater.
you can't get rid of him because it looked terrible considering what you traded.
Well,
That'd be a bad look.
I think all bets, yes, it'll be a bad look, but I think if you win a Super Bowl, people kind of don't care. At a certain point. And
Yeah.
then the whole thing could just be like, oh, Trey Lance wasn't the guy. Yeah, we wasted picks, but it ended up working out and or whatever. They'll twist it in whatever story way they want to say, yeah, this is what we were hoping for all along, or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, sometimes those gambles work, sometimes it don't. All right, so this is my last surprise. Well, it's not a real surprise. I thought they would be doing good, and I kind of hope they do. The Detroit Lions.
Yeah, yeah,
Was
yeah.
it Dan Campbell's their coach?
My man Campbell. My
That
man
dude
Dan
got
Campbell.
them
Oh, yeah.
pumped up. He had them pumped up all last season too, even though they only
They played
won
they
2
played
games.
hard last year, man. They just
Yeah,
couldn't pull out wins. Yeah.
yeah. And I don't know this Saint Brown cat.
Equanimous St. Brown. I mean, Amon Ross St. Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever all that is. He seems to be the Debo Samuel this year. And Jared Goff seems to it just all seems to be working. If Swift, their running back, and can stay good,
Just stay healthy, man.
Yeah,
He's a smaller back. He's not small, but he's smaller, and he's that bell cow. So you gotta be careful with him. DeAndre Swift, University of Georgia. I love him. Tremendous player. I mean, that dude got one of the deadliest fucking dead legs I've ever seen in my life. But injuries are a concern,
right,
and they have been up to this point. So I just hope he stays healthy.
right. Yeah, and yeah, I think honestly think health is the only thing that would really hinder the Lions this season because hey, game 2, Aaron Rodgers, he didn't come out crazy like he did last season. Uh, Green Bay's offense, look, they played the Bears, so I expected them to go all out. It wasn't.
I mean, it's hard to go all out with no receivers.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to get much better.
Yeah, they drafted Christian Wood out of fucking North Dakota or whatever, but he's a rookie. So, it would have been nice to have an older guy on the it would have been nice to have Devontae Adams on the roster. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. And like the last, I say, 2 or 3 years, we've seen rookie receivers ball out.
Yep. Yep.
I've really been paying attention this much. So the last few seasons, I didn't pay much attention to the Broncos because I knew how it was going to end. So I paid attention to everything else. And now, since I have hope for the Broncos, I'm kind of not paying attention to everything else.
Everybody else, yep.
Yeah, so I can't name you one rookie. I know the guy from the Lions, Hutchinson. He had what, 3 sacks?
Aiden, yeah, he's playing well.
Yeah, like that's the only rookie I could probably name. 'Cause I don't even know if a quarterback got drafted as a rookie. I don't know any rookie receivers. So I'm not keeping up with any of that stuff at this point in the season. Listen, if the Broncos are 2-6, then I'll start paying attention to the other
Yeah, that's
stuff.
how it works. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
But right now, I'm all in on the Broncos. But yeah, if the Packers keep struggling like they do, and Kirk Cousins keep being Kirk Cousins, and Justin Field remains a quarterback drafted out of Ohio State, Lions got a chance. Lions got a chance to make some noise, and that'll be neat to see. It'll be
They play
neat.
hard.
Yeah, it'll be neat if Dan Campbell can get a playoff win with the Lions. It'll be the first time since I think 1778, something like that.
Jeez.
Back when back before we had an Air Force, you know.
Back when shoes were optional to play the game. All right, you didn't really have to.
Back when shoes were optional, period.
Like, yeah, you didn't have to wear shoes. All right, it's just come on in here.
Yeah, they're like shoes out, man. It's a fad.
Feet? Come on in here. Let's play.
Yeah, you got them. Well, I'm gonna say what kind of feet, but you got them feet. Man, you don't need these shoes. These shoes are a fad. They ain't gonna last long. So yeah, it's been a minute for them. But yeah, man, I think that's pretty much it for NFL Week 2. Week 3, do you know who the Falcons are playing? Or have you?
I do not, sir. I don't.
Right.
I'll find out Sunday. I still look. So I'm interested. I told you about this season coming in here, right? Finally, GM and the coach said we're rebuilding. First of all, I knew you were rebuilding 2 years ago when you traded Julio Jones. All right, you've been rebuilding. You should have just been honest about it. So we're rebuilding, right? And that does excite me as a fan because it's like it brings out the Madden player in me, where you get a chance to rebuild the roster. The only problem is you got to hit on the guys you've been drafting, and so far it's so. Now we do have you mentioned rookies. We do have the top rookie wide receiver in Drake London out of USC.
Oh, yeah,
man's playing. Right. He's playing very well. And we also have a rookie quarterback on the bench. He'll be playing soon. Because Mariota's not playing badly, but if the season's a wash, you got to get the guy you draft in the 3rd round some reps to see what he is. And that'll be the young man Desmond Ridder. So I'm excited to see Desmond Ridder hit the field. I'm excited to see Drake London's development. And I also want to see if we can get Kyle Pitts the ball because, I mean, you can't call him a unicorn and don't throw him the ball, which is what we're doing right now, which is
right.
Doesn't make much sense to me, but okay. Yeah.
Well, I think that's because you got Mariota back there.
Yeah. One thing I learned about Mariota is if he's not on the bootleg, he can't see the fucking field. It's the weirdest shit in the world. When he gets the ball and he bootlegs or waggles, man, the guy looks so confident, so crisp. He can see the field. The decisions are quick when he's on the move. If he has to just take a straight drop, his head, you can see it in his head movement. He can't scan the field on a straight drop. It's so fucking weird.
Right.
So weird. So, with that being said, I like Marcus Mariota as a player, very nice guy, but I do want to see this rookie. You drafted him. He's out of Cincinnati. And I have a theory about quarterbacks. The best quarterbacks typically come from schools where they weren't surrounded by all the riches of college football. And that would be Desmond Ridder. He played well at Cincinnati. Didn't have a whole lot of talent. He had one tight end that was pretty good. Other than that, he was just they were kind of making it work. So
right.
I want to see Desmond Ridder get in there and get a chance of really good clean, good clean reps with the ones and see what he's got.
Right. Well, y'all are playing the Seahawks. So
all right, okay, so that's a winnable game.
Yeah, that's definitely a winnable game. I say that and I remember week 1. But
yeah.
So you telling me this Ritter guy beat out Felipe Franks as the quarterback, man?
Sir, Felipe Franks is a tight end now. Okay,
Oh
he's
yeah,
not a
right.
quarterback.
Ugh.
Yeah, when we drafted Felipe Franks, I never had any illusions that he was going to play quarterback.
Hey, he played
Listen,
a couple snaps for y'all at
you're a
quarterback.
Florida fan. I'm a Georgia fan. We both got plenty of looks at Felipe Franks. All right, we know what the hell he is.
Yeah.
And he ain't a quarterback.
Not at the NFL level, no. And he was
Felipe
barely
Franks is
that.
my Felipe Franks is my favorite Florida quarterback of all time.
You
Love him.
bastard.
He's gonna give you 3 picks a game. It was great.
You say
So
this.
good.
You say this basically to my face. I can't believe you. That's
I'm sorry, bro. Hey, as a Gator, I love Felipe Franks. One of my favorite quarterbacks. Just chef's kiss.
Oh man, you can eat a bag of duck nipples, man. Like, you ain't need to say that. Like, man, it was a joke, man. I was just joking. Yeah, Felipe Franks, it was, and the fact that, oh man, they kept him. All Florida Gators want is another Tim Tebow. And no matter if you got a good pocket passer, they're like, nah, we want to do a dual threat anyway.
And the game's clearly passed that style of play by. Andy Richardson, tremendous athlete. He's not a passer. You're not going to beat good defense with Anthony Richardson. Come on. You struggled with South Florida with Anthony Richardson. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
So
that's why, even before the season started, I'm like, if we're starting that running back at quarterback, I'm not even going to put any effort towards believing the Gators are going to do anything.
Dude, after week 1, they beat Utah. People lost their damn minds. People went on Twitter and started invoking the names of Vince Young, Cam Newton. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all looking at? What are you talking about? Look, that was a Pac-12 team coming into Gainesville. They weren't going to win that game. I think I told you that before the game. I was like, yeah, I just don't see Utah being able to win that game, and I was right. Very physically imposing guy, man. Very physically gifted dude. Not a passer.
Wait a second. I'm pretty sure I was the only one saying Florida was going to lose that game.
And I said you guys were going to win that game.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I never once thought Utah was going to go to Gainesville and win that game. I did not believe it. Right. Because look, I'm an SEC supremacist. Sue me. I ain't got no respect for no Pac-12 team coming into fucking Florida winning that game. Right. I don't respect you. Sorry, I don't.
Yeah, that's why I was like, listen, if Utah loses to Florida, Florida's not a good team. They don't deserve to enter the playoffs for the next 5 years because it's clearly a sham and they can't handle it. Florida right now is trying to it's like, I don't want to say they're the worst of the best conference, but they're like mid-tier.
They're middle of the pack SEC. Yeah. And I did not believe the so-called best team in the Pac-12 could beat a middle of the road SEC team. That's how little respect I have for the Pac-12. And I was right.
Yeah.
Look, and what I did say was, look, I'm going too far because what I said was, I think Utah's a better team on a neutral field. They're not going to Florida winning that game week 1. They're not. Period. On the road, you're not doing that. Had it been neutral field, I took Utah. Had it been Utah at home, clearly I'm taking Utah. They weren't going on the road winning that game. Never. So that's what it is.
Right.
In fact, I don't know why those Pac-12 teams keep taking those games. I'm pretty sure Oregon's never going to come to Atlanta or the state of Georgia ever again. They're never doing that again. They're not doing that.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm a Gators fan, but I don't dislike the Bulldogs. Like, I just never saw the Bulldogs as a rivalry. I just saw them as another SEC team. So when SEC, unless they're playing the Gators, I'm always rooting for the SEC. So whenever an Oregon or a Utah or Notre Dame or anyone comes and plays against SEC, I'm always hoping for an ass whooping, and it usually turns out that way.
Yeah, that Oregon Georgia week 1 game was as Josh Pate would say it. Josh Pate, one of my favorite college football voices. He called it Shark Week, and that was absolutely the case. That was Shark Week. That was some fucking violence, man. That was woof. Boy, that was tough. I enjoyed it, but Jesus.
Yeah, Yeah, it was. Look, I enjoyed it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got
Outside
to
of
say.
USC may be the only team cocky enough to come and play another SEC team like that, a top tier SEC team. These other Pac-12 teams, they're not scheduling SEC teams on the road ever again. They're not doing it. Like, I'm good.
Yeah,
We'll
and
play on a neutral field. I'm not coming to your stadium, brother. I'm not doing that. I'm
yeah,
good.
and USC hasn't been good since Pete Carroll. I almost said
Yeah,
Pete
but hey,
Rose.
they're on the rise. So it looks pretty good this year. They're rebuilding.
And
So
they,
they're not great yet, but they look pretty good on offense especially. So I'll keep my eyes out. They're not ready yet, but I hope to see them for the next year or two. See them develop.
right. You got more faith than I do because listen, if you're a supremacist, I'm now. You know what? I'm going. Never mind. I was going to say some terms that was.
You were gonna say you're the KKK of SEC fan. Like I just.
Yeah, I was going Grand Dragon on. I'm the Grand Dragon. Listen, I don't care who. I don't believe. I don't physically see any team beating an SEC in the playoff.
A
If an
good, yeah,
SEC, yeah,
a top tier SEC team like the
Alabama,
Georgias, the LSU's, the
Georgia,
Alabamas.
yeah,
Yeah,
it differs year to year, but right now it's Alabama and Georgia. I don't
yeah.
see any team outside the SEC actually beating them in the playoffs. And I'm tired of Notre Dame making it every year and getting their ass whipped. And it's like, come on with this. And it's in my head is I'm like, man, these guys got to be so embarrassed that every time they play these SEC teams, they get their ass. I know it's not like that, but in my head, I
it's
genuinely feel bad for these other conferences because they're clearly
it's the
not as
it's
good
the
as
it's
SEC.
the physical differences between the teams at the
Right?
line of scrimmage that it just doesn't add up. The skill
Yeah,
positions, you can find skill guys all over the league. Look, you can find even in the trenches, you can find defensive players in the trenches or offensive linemen all over the country. Of course you can. But like there's a deep concentration of that shit in the Southeastern Conference, man. And it's
it's all
just
that soul food they eat, man.
yeah, the
Yeah,
collard greens and
yeah.
all that good shit, man.
Some massive
Listen,
bodies
you
down there.
just you don't match up on the defensive line.
Yeah,
We're talking about another rookie. We mentioned Aiden Hutchinson earlier.
yeah.
So this is my chance to be in the SEC/Georgia Homer supremacist. Um,
All right.
oh boy, Trevon Walker out of Jacksonville. Listen, defensive end out of Georgia. He's a fucking freak. And fucking guy is a fucking I don't know what the fuck that is. 6'5", 270. Could run a 4.4 and a half. Fucking his first NFL game, he had a sack and an interception. He's a defensive end. What do you mean he had an interception?
Right.
Like, these guys, what they produce, what the best teams in the conference produce, especially on the D line and the offensive line, man. It's really hard to beat those teams, man, because
Yeah.
in the trenches where the game is won, you just don't stack up,
Yeah. And
and
and,
it's
I,
it's
and I'm going
getting
to
tough.
forever enjoy it.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, me too. Hey, listen, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna continue to be a supremacist. If you don't like it, come take our stuff. I don't know what to tell you. All right.
come take our stuff.
We produce. Look, between the state of Georgia and Florida, you could take that state and build 4 fucking football teams.
Yeah.
Like just out of those 2 states. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's that's just what it is, man. The high school talent in those areas is just so rich that it's like, well, fuck,
Yeah.
and
Listen,
that's state equity.
it's fantastic. I love it. And
It is.
even
It
though
is.
the Gators are stuck in the past, I'll still root for them.
So they got a new coach, Billy Napier. He seems to have brought a level of cool, calm, and collectedness back to the program. He
Definitely
knows the
needed that.
recruiting, huh?
I said we definitely needed that.
Yeah, you definitely need that, and he also knows that without the recruiting prowess, you can't compete. So he knows he has to go out there and get 4 and 5 star guys because you got to compete with Georgia's roster, you got to compete for Alabama's roster, and you can't do it if you don't have the guys, man. Like it starts there. If
Yeah.
you ain't got the players, dude, you can't match up. Period.
Yeah. And man, I know it's cliche to say, but most of the time, Florida has the players except for the quarterback position. And we
Yeah,
had Kyle Trask that one year.
Yep.
And he lit it up, and then he like, I need to get the hell out of here. I'm not going to repeat this success. He left, and then
Yeah,
it
that was
went
a
back.
1 year deal they had going there. It
Yeah,
was a fun year for him. I won't lie. That was a fun offense.
yeah, and man, it was an undisciplined team. We had some bonehead
Oh
plays
boy. Yeah, you did.
against LSU.
The shoe
Oh,
game. The shoe
good, the
game against
shoe
LSU.
game. My goodness.
God, boy.
Uh, but I mean, yeah. So hopefully, the discipline comes back and we can get a decent offense going. But right now, it ain't it. The defense looks good, which it usually is, but the offense it ain't looking
Yeah.
so hot. So
Offensively, right now, yeah, you guys are challenged. Quarterback's not a passer, and your wide receivers are underwhelming. You got to
yeah,
get that fixed.
yeah,
If you ever hope to compete at a high level again, you got to get that fixed. It can't stay that way. So,
right. Yeah, I mean, like, why would these players come to Florida if they know what's at the quarterback position? Because look, we had I forget the guy's first name. We had Tony and
Kadarius, yep.
yeah, we had Tony. We had what's the guy name? The guy I forget. He went to the Browns and
Callaway,
yeah, and then
yep.
I think we had Cleveland as well. He was decent. He's not doing too much in the NFL right now. Like we have pieces. We always have a running back. It's just quarterback position, man, is nuts. And then when we get a quarterback, the defense suffers. And then by the time we get the defense back up, like we only have a good quarterback, I say like once every 10 years. And it's just
It's weird.
frustrating, man. But
It's fucking weird.
it is weird, but I mean it's the SEC. If you're not recruiting, you're not getting you're not Alabama toss away quarterbacks. Like,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
you want us a national championship, but we're gonna go with somebody else.
It's
Like,
getting so the concentration of wealth between Alabama and Georgia now is getting so crazy that you got like I could legitimately say Arkansas is a team on the rise, and they built their team off Georgia castaways. Like
right,
that's how crazy it's getting. Like that's the kind of talent they're amassing. To where well, I couldn't make the roster, I couldn't really crack the lineup at Georgia. I'll go play somewhere else, and they play well when they go somewhere else because the dude. It's not that they're bad players. It's just that the dudes in front of them are fucking super freaks.
right,
It's like, yeah, I mean, I'm not, I wasn't better than that guy, but I'm better than a lot of guys. I'm not a bad player, you know.
right. I just need the Florida people, hand out a nice NIL deal to somebody who can throw, and call it a day.
Yeah,
Um,
I found it very confusing when they threw all their eggs in the Anthony Richardson basket. I was like, we'll see how that works out. I don't
oh,
see it.
I saw that at the end of last season. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I see where this is going. And yeah, I'm like, why they keep I'm like, every time you put this guy in the game, it's a turn. It's like Drew Lock. It was like watching Drew Lock on the Broncos.
yeah, yeah,
Every time Drew Lock got in the game, turnover was coming. Every time they put Richardson in the game, turnover was coming. And then he started the season. I'm like, oh, well, I'm good. I don't need to watch. I already know how it's going to go because this guy's a running back who's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
playing
And now
quarterback.
you guys are going to Tennessee this week with that high octane offense at Tennessee, and I just don't see. You're going to be at Tennessee, man. I don't see no way you score with them. I don't see how y'all keep up. You're gonna have to play insane defense, and you're gonna have to play ball control offense with that running back at quarterback. That's what you're gonna have to do. Because
Yeah.
if you give them dudes the ball fucking 12, 13 times, they're gonna score 35. And I don't think y'all score 35.
No, we not. And I don't even know who the backup is. I've given up that much this season because I put all my focus into the Broncos, and if the Broncos don't work out, I'm going to have a relapse, and it's not going to be good. I'm gonna start eating a lot of McDonald's and using DoorDash a lot, and I'm gonna gain 100 pounds. So there's a lot riding on
Good
this
man,
season.
yeah. Don't let them control your mood. Exactly.
Right.
Hey, listen.
Yeah. I listen. I saw how I was when it was Joe Flacco that woke me up. When I saw how I was acting when the Broncos had Joe Flacco, and then I took a look at myself. I'm like, why am I getting myself
Yes.
falsely
Yes.
motivated over Joe Flacco? I even got
Why am I
excited
allowing
about Mark Sanchez at one point.
Oh boy.
I was like, okay, I clearly have a problem. It's like
Yeah,
drinking
yeah.
orange juice all over again.
Look, and look, that's NFL fandom in a nutcase. That's the
Yeah,
best thing about being a Falcons fan now. I have that clarity. I'm like, why are you letting some fucking football team who doesn't pay your bills dictate your move? Listen,
Right.
Cowboy fans, stop doing that shit. All right, listen, just
Oh,
watch the
Cowboys,
game and
man.
hope for the best, but don't emotionally invest because it's just gonna drive you crazy.
Yeah, and listen, I relapsed a little bit. I have a lot of hope going on, but
Well,
as
that's what a
these
new
two,
quarterback do
yeah,
for you,
but
especially a guy
as
like Russell Wilson.
I think it's good that these first two games have been rough because it's got me back down to normal. I was like, okay, hold on a second. Listen, if the Broncos started off going nuts, it would have been bad. I would have been kicked out of that group, man. It would have been bad. I had the memes and everything ready. I had the Kermit rolling down the window. Oh, I remember
He
last
held
time.
loaded up and ready.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, it's a good thing. So it's all working out for a reason. I'm good. Last thing I want to say on NFL Week 2, and if for some reason any major league player of any sport or anybody of any sport who's getting paid to play gets injured and your team doctor tells you don't worry about it, it's not going to get worse, you got a problem with your team doctor. And I'm
Yes,
talking about
yes,
Jameis Winston. Buddy's got
yeah, yeah,
4 fractures in his back, 3 or 4. And
dude. You should not be playing football.
right, and the physician's like, oh, playing football is not going to make it worse.
Are you kidding me?
How? That must be code for something. Because that's
I,
one of the most idiotic things.
I
They
know.
said that with Kevin Durant when he was on Golden State and he got hurt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It can't get any worse. What? What are you
I'm
talking
like,
about?
what are you talking about? Your ankle can't get. You're playing basketball. What do you mean? What are you gonna play on one foot? And then he goes out and it gets hurt. I'm like, what? How did you
Jameis,
actually believe that?
Jameis was hurt in that Falcon game, and he came back and played well to end it. But he was hurt. He was hurt, and the adrenaline got him through that game. Dude, you're gonna fuck around and get blindsided by somebody, and that's gonna be it for your back, bro.
Yeah,
Listen, you
you're
got a
gonna
long
get
life to live.
paralyzed.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Listen, my L5 have been jacked up for like, I don't know, since like 2007. And man, I could just be sitting down. If I tweak that thing the wrong angle, I got to go back. I got to reset.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can't imagine playing football with 3 fractures in your lower back. And then the doctor's like, you'll be fine. And you believe in it. No, sir, I don't believe you. I'm gonna have to sit the next couple games out. Put in Taysom Hill. That's the guy y'all like anyway.
You want him anyway. Yeah, yeah.
Like I don't understand how that's a normal thing to be said, and people. That's why Kawhi left. Was what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
like, no, Kawhi, you're good enough to play. He's like, nah, no, no, I'm not. I'm good. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. And the Spurs are like, well, I mean, you can play. He's like, you know what? I don't think it's gonna work out here anymore. And he's just doing his own thing. He's doing it now in the Clippers. He's like, when I'm ready, I'll play. But I don't know. It just blew my mind that for football, I know your back's messed up, but playing football is not going to make it worse.
That's nuts. That is nuts.
Yeah, that it's.
Trust me, buddy. Playing football will not make it worse. You guys are good. Get on out there.
And look, I'm not trying to say nothing about James, but he seems like the guy who would believe that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
As he as they feed him W's in on the operating table. He's like, don't worry, you been eating them W's? Like, yeah, I've been eating them W's every day. Like, oh, your back will be fine. You'll be, you got nothing to worry about. But look, I hope it works out for him. I had hopes for Jameis, but I don't think that. I think he just need to chill out. Him and Mariota, I think they've exhausted what they can be. And I think
yeah, the peak has been reached. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know he threw 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, but you also threw 30
He threw
interceptions.
30 picks. Yes,
And,
yes.
and when they got a 15-year-old older quarterback in there, they won the Super Bowl the next season. Listen, I don't think starting is for you. But hey, it's whatever. Live your dream, Jameis. Live your dream, Kevin Durant. Kyrie, burn them sages. But yeah, that's pretty much it for NFL Week 2. Unless you got anything else to add.
No, brother, I'm good, man.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to Week 3. Thursday night game is a classic. It's the Browns versus the Steelers. That should be extremely boring.
Yeah, it will
There's
be.
two terrible quarterbacks and two
Oh
good
boy.
defenses going on
Oh
each
yeah.
other again. So that'll be a 15-16 affair. So, right, man. Hey, look, I gargle that salt water, drink that OJ, man. Hope you feel better soon.
Will do, man. I really appreciate it.
All right, man. You take it easy.
Yep.